What's up, everybody? Pondering fellows here. We're doing some things a little bit different. We're zooming it again, and it just got very dark up here where I am. So if we lose power, maybe we'll be back. So Eli and Joe are here. What's up, my friend? How have you been?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
So today we're going to be talking about women, partnership, the importance of a partnership. We're going to see what happens with this conversation, because part of it is we want to celebrate the ladies. We want to celebrate the strong, powerful ladies out there.
Right.
And before we start, we're going to pull one of these Work Your Light oracles, and maybe the oracle will actually help us navigate the conversation. So, Eli, what number's in your head?
13 or 20. One of them two. They both popped up. Let's go with 20.
Okay. All right. I pulled 13 too because I like 13.
There you go.
All right. So number 20. You're gonna shoot your pants. I can't even believe this. That says warrior woman.
Listen.
What?
When you're connected, you're connected.
Have you answered your deepest call? Have you answered your deepest call? So I'm trying not to curse, right? Really, I hope I just didn't say the F word, but I may have.
Right.
But I'm trying to be so much better. But for all of our friends out there listening, before we actually hit record, we were talking about this conversation, how, parts of it might need to be delicate, parts of it might need to be cut out. We're both going to preface, in no way, shape, or form do we mean any kind of disrespect or anything to anyone, however you identify, right? But we wanted to celebrate the ladies and the women, and Eli's mom, my sister, my mom, all of the things, partners.
I don't want to use the feminine, you know what I mean? Because you don't want to just label that's what women are, because you have both. So
So then for you to, I can't wait to see what card 13 is, right? So for you to go 13, 20, 20, 20, right? And then it be the warrior woman, I guess we're supposed to talk about this. So here we are. Should we wait till the end to pull 13? Let's wait till the end and we'll see what 13 is. All right, so here we are. We're talking about women, ladies, partnership, the importance of what do you got on your mind? What are you thinking about?
So I heard this speech. It was in like the I want to say 40s. I'm not sure. It was a very old speech. I forget the guy's name. But he was speaking and he was saying how if a man doesn't have God in his life or leading him in his life, and if he doesn't go to God every day for guidance or something like that, right? Then he's going to his wife or his woman, or he's lost, right? So to be second to God in that aspect, right? It's like, well, that's pretty powerful. And just how empowering women are, period, right? So like my boys could tell me, yo, you're doing a good job, or my pops or uncle, grandfather, whatever, they could tell you all you want, pat me on my back, right? Well, my ass is only 6 inches away. So you guys have dudes have they have a tendency to want to kick you in your ass, but pat you on the back at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And with girls, it's like, when they speak, like when you love, like when my grandmother says something to me, or my girlfriend, so a woman in my life, I don't know if you know this about me, but all throughout school, I don't think I respected any man, right? Because I've seen both sides. Like, oh, you want to act like a father, but when we're out in public, you're totally not that guy. Mm-hmm. And the women in my life have always been the same, 24/7, never changed. And even as a kid, I never respected men. The only guy I respected was Coach Patron, right? Anybody else, it was like I listened to the women more. And
Hmm.
I don't know why. And that dawned on me as I was listening to this guy talk. Like it just all popped in my head. And it's just like the words, the how they talk to you. It, it's never belittling, right? In some cases it can be. But for a women, they know how to look you in the eye softly and tell you something dominantly. And men they can't do that. It's kind of hard for a guy to do that. And they could say something to you that's just so small or whatever, but it's so uplifting. Even to the point where if you're mad or upset, they could probably even take that energy away from you and give you something more positive to walk away with. And I'm sure there's guys out there that can do it too. But I just feel like I got that more from women. It's just I feel like it's just naturally easier, just like they have an intuition where it's just naturally easier for them to do that and they don't even realize they're doing it.
Well, right. And I mean, you you really didn't have a steady male figure in your life,
No, except
you
for
know.
Pat.
Well, right. But still that's Pat. Nothing against my dad. He's great, right? But wasn't like that constant, figure was already there, which makes
Right,
sense then and be like, well, why would I trust you? Right.
right.
Right. So I think that is a big influence on this, right? Like the
It could
feminine,
be.
the ladies were the constant, right? Your mom, ma'am, right? They were there. They were, being that loving yet forceful support because
Right.
they kind of had to be, you know.
Yeah. So
So
subconsciously that was probably programmed. You're right.
which is beautiful. And on the opposite of that, right, I have an experience from my life of dating someone and I was young, really mean, told me I was dumb, told me I was stupid all the time. And that just got embedded in me. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
believed, right? Like I had this thought, like I'm a just amazing athlete, but I'm dumb. Right. And I didn't put it together, right? Like, how can I be this, right? How can I be this thing? How
Mm-hmm.
how do I know the plays, know what I'm supposed to do, know all of it, and what the other team's gonna do? And I think I'm dumb, right? And it was literally because for a year and a half, this girl was, you're dumb, And part of it
Mm-hmm.
was probably joking, but it affected me tremendously.
Or in a control type of way. But yeah.
Hmm. So it's like really, I think having partnership in our life, but also then being able to recognize, because I feel I'm the same way. Like I've always, I mean, my football coaches were different, right? Because it was different. But after that, like the best yoga teachers that I've had have been ladies, and not because there haven't been male teachers, the ones that I connected to, right?
Right.
Like I just connected with them better. I learned more. I find coaches that I work with, if I work with a female coach, I, I it's just better.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing on the flip side, like I really want to work with men and help men connect,
That's why I'm doing this, dude.
right? And 98% of the people I work with are women, So I'm like,
Right.
and I try to do the things to connect to the men, to get the men, maybe this
Right.
will
Right.
help. But it's
Right.
like
That's
last
why I
year.
started coaching and that's why I started coaching football and shit. Cause I wanted to be around these guys and show them like you could be all of these failures in life that I was and still be a successful dude. And you don't have to be a statistic because of all of this shit.
Right, right. So my teacher, John Kim, who I did my coach training with, he wrote a great book called I Used to Be a Miserable Fuck. It's great. It's the name of the book. I had to say
About to make a coin jar here.
it. but but that's the name of the book. That's
All
literally
right.
the name of the book.
Okay.
And in it, he talks about us being a generation or generations of fatherless children. Even though I had a dad, right? My dad was
Mm-hmm.
working all the time. Like he was,
All that's all.
that was it, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's like in that era, right? Like, because John Kim and I were right around the same age. So like the MTV generation, it's like we were
Mm-hmm.
literally raised on MTV and all
Mm-hmm.
of that. And we weren't taught anything. We were taught the bullshit, make believe stuff,
Yeah.
right? Not because like he had a dad, his dad was around, but was always working, right? Doing what they needed to do. So at least back then, like it wasn't later until my youth growing up that ma'am had to go to work, right?
Yeah, nah, he was definitely old school.
But Pat was always working, always there. And then high school, my mom started driving the deaf kids to school. I think it was when I was in
Mm.
high school, junior high. You know what I mean? So, but she was always there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was always, but because we didn't have that male figure, right? It was like, oh, where am I going to learn about this or that? And like some stupid TV show.
Right.
Really, it's kind of, it all always circles back to
And that
who and what's in our life, but we should be celebrating the warrior women as well, right? And uplifting them and be like,
mhm.
thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up. Thanks
And
for
not for
pushing and
nothing,
uplifting.
the small things. Being a mom's hard, dude. Guy, I mean, not gonna. You see where I'm going with this? Like, it is hard to have to take care of kids all the time and have to clean and have to make sure the house is right and then make sure dinner's ready. And that's none. I don't want to do that shit. I'm gonna be flat out. You
But
know
there
what I
are
mean?
men that do it too. You know what
That
I mean?
do. I
Right. So it's like,
right, right.
again, finding that because
There is.
maybe, right? Maybe there is like let's look at your sister. Let's look at Liz, right? Liz works. Liz goes out and does the stuff, and her man is home taking care of Matthias, right? Like
Right.
that's what they've got worked out. Like that's their thing, you know. So again, it's like, yeah, we're celebrating the ladies, but really, we need to have a good partnership in our life, right?
Right.
Like, so we
And
create.
not only were the men not in our lives, right, male lives, not just ours, but male lives, but they also weren't there in the females lives, and that's where you can see a lot of this masculinity. It's not just men, it's women as well. There's a lot of masculine women out there because they didn't have fathers in their lives and they had to step up to the plate and help their moms.
Right. And
You see it a lot in New York.
at
You
this
see it
point,
a lot in New York.
we're not talking about masculine as in ladies with big muscles.
Right. No, 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 not at all. Not at all.
This is all the energy, all energy.
Right. It's
But
an energy.
yeah. And yeah, they're like when you sent the text the other day about talking about this, I'm like, they're gonna save the world. Like, there you go, ladies. Like, we've almost cursed. We broke it, right? The man,
Right.
right? Toxic male energy is every problem that we are experiencing on the planet. Every single one of them has
Right.
come from toxic male energy. The only thing that's going to fix it is that divine feminine energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
That creative energy. And if the toxic masculine can actually get out of the way and be like, let's look at things the way this actually is, right? The ladies give birth to everything,
Right.
right? And if we just look at that and be like, all right, let's just stand back and do what the masculine is
Like
supposed to
they
do.
literally create.
Yeah, create life, right? And
Like
yet in this country, what is the masculine trying to do? Take that power away from them. Like,
right, right,
no, like that.
right.
Oh man,
I have
man.
this. I have this meme saved, but it was saying how, again, how they're it said along the lines of how um women are like star portals. They literally have enough power, right, to bring a creation from another dimension into this one. And again, that's along those same lines. Like that takes power, bro. And it also said in a quote that I'll share it on my Instagram later, but um men can have kids, but women can birth nations.
Uh-huh.
When I heard that, yeah, your mind goes crazy. Like, dude, a chick having that many kids, like, holy shit. But dude, it's literally possible. You know what I mean? And it's that's power. That is so
Oh, yeah,
powerful.
it's the creative force. It's
Yeah,
creation,
man.
right? At its finest. Should we pull that other card
Yeah, let's see what it is, man.
and see what this
Let's
is?
see what it is.
Pillar of light. Pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle, the pillar of light. And I think if you look really close up in there, that is a beautiful woman in that pillar of light right there. So
Yeah, man. I don't know, bro.
what's there to know? It's the great mystery of life, right? The thing
It is.
that gets me is how I feel bad saying it. How did we let it get this way? How did we
Because
let
men
it
like control.
right?
It's a masculine thing, right? That's just what it is. And control is part of that. And being dominant and owning, and that's my land, and actually killing for it. Like, why? Yeah, how big this world is, dude. Scoot over to the right. Like it's just I now you could take this a million different ways, but I always looked at it like this, right? When you have a man in power or at the top of the pyramid, right? He's the number one guy. Everyone at the bottom is gunning for that same spot. Like, I want that job too. I want to know what that feels like. But if you had a woman there, the men underneath her are gonna treat her like a mom. They're gonna, it's like,
You would hope that they would treat her with respect, but you don't know.
because men are just fucked. I'll
Well,
curse.
I'm trying to be this like we all are, right? Both women and men, right? Because it's the same. There are, like if you
The
scroll on
masculine energy needs to step to the side.
it just remember right, the whole chakra experience balance,
Right.
right?
You do
There
need
needs to be
balance.
balance.
You
and
do
and
need balance. You
understanding
do.
that it's okay to have a little bit of both, but we all should have a little bit of both, right?
Right.
And enjoy it. So really it's like everything that and I kind of just keep coming at like there's good and bad everywhere, right? Because there
Mm-hmm.
really are, there are I'm sure there are people out there that be like, I haven't talked to my mom in forever because she was never there, right? And it was only this
Right.
male figure. um it's the good and the bad, the yin and the yang, the balance. We got
Right.
to remember that there's balance, but we do also have to celebrate, that warrior woman, right? And celebrate those fierce women in our life, because most
Man,
likely they are not being celebrated enough. So for all of you ladies out there, we celebrate you.
I know I do.
Sure does. Sure does. So thanks for being here. We'll be back next week talking about something else. Share this with your friends. I double dog dare you.
Oh man.